Hi guys. Today's video is a part 2 to the things I hate about groups I love video that I made, as requested. As I said in that video, this is not a hate video in any way, and a group that I didn't like would never take up as much of my brain space as the groups in this video. Wanting your faves to improve does not mean that you dislike them at all. Having ideas about how they could improve means that you are looking forward to what they will put out in the future. If anything, I promise that there are things that I genuinely love about all of these groups, but the point of this video is not to talk about those. If you are going to get mad about the things I say in this video, then you can leave now. Thanks. Without further ado, let's get started. Of course, when talking about Blackpink you cannot avoid talking about how bad YG is. I hate how YG manages Blackpink, because one comeback a year will never be enough. However, I think that talking about how I hate Blackpink's lack of music is like beating a dead horse. Everyone and their mother has made videos about how bad their situation is. So, I'm going to talk about other things I dislike about them. For starters, I despise the way that Blackpink's personalities are marketed. Blackpink gets more marketing as for people who just happen to hang around together than as an actual group. Each girl has her solo endorsements, and then there's Jennie with her solo debut. And part of the reason why this is because of their personality marketing. All the members have a specific stereotype that they fit into. Jennie is the chic fashionable one. Jisoo is the girl next door, Lisa is the badass one, and Rosé is the indie soft aesthetic one. This works great on YG's end because it allows them to get more solo brand deals, but for a fan this is kind of unsettling. What I mean by this is that I don't think there is a way that any human can precisely fit into the stereotypes that the Blackpink members have, so I feel like YG is not really letting them do what they want with their images. I'm sure you guys have seen that clip where Rosé's voice literally becomes more high-pitched as soon as she realizes that she's being filmed. There's also a multitude of videos about how Blackpink are being controlled, and I think those videos are onto something. I absolutely love many things about Blackpink, but I don't think that I would be comfortable wholly standing them just because of these weird situations. Another thing that I have grown to dislike about Blackpink lately is their music. Their B-sides are really good but their title tracks get worse and worse with every comeback, at least in my opinion. I don't think that the reason Blackpink doesn't come back often is Teddy's slow producing pace, but regardless, the songs are still pretty bad for him having had an entire year to make them. They are just too formulaic, and we know that Teddy is capable of making songs that sound different. Just take a look at Blackpink's own early releases, and those of other YG artists like Somi. I hope that Blackpink's next pre-release single sounds different, which has a high chance of happening because the teaser poster they released does look like a different concept and says they will be featuring another artist. We will just have to wait and see. Now with Everglow, we have the perennial issue of the line distributions. Yena having the possibility of joining Everglow in a few years is absolutely not an excuse for the terrible line distribution. Since that is only a rumor and even if Mia's lines were split in half at a later date there's still the immediate impact that the line distributions have right now. The thing is, I think that Everglow's company genuinely wants to market Mia more. Why? I don't know. Other members have equal potential to be recognized for their skills and personalities. If their company just let them showcase them, Mia herself will only become overworked if their company keeps this up. So I hope that with their next comeback they let her relax a little bit. The next thing is Everglow's music. Bon Bon Chocolate was literally such a good song, and then they threw that style right down the drain with Adios. I feel like I'm the only one who strongly dislikes Adios. Too much chanting for my personal taste. Dun Dun was a slight improvement, but I mean slight improvement. They have such good B-sides that I feel like they should have made one of them the title track. For example, Player would have made a great title track, using the loud Blackpink style of music. Yes, I'm calling it for what it is. Will only make people tired of it. At least Blackpink have enough popularity to make their songs successful even though they sound similar, but Everglow doesn't have that kind of power. Similarly to ITZY, I have the same problem with Everglow, their tour. What exactly was the point of that tour? They did have a few more songs, but not that many, and unlike ITZY, they were billing it as a concert and not a showcase. Everglow did not have the kind of popularity to be going on tours when they were that new of a group. Like with ITZY, I was going to go, but the price they were charging was absolutely not worth what they were putting out. And that's even without considering the pandemic. That was a real risk they took by holding those concerts, and honestly, they absolutely should not have held them. Their company grossly overestimated their popularity on that tour, which is pretty funny considering that their company are the ones buying YouTube views. After all, don't even try to deny it, because there is real proof that they are buying views. I'm not saying that it's bad, but the way that their fans try to claim they aren't buying views is ridiculous. Let them buy views, for goodness sake. Anyways, that's all I've got for Everglow. On to the next group. IZ*ONE have the obvious problem of them disbanding. Yup, it will happen, and no matter how many times you comment IZ*ONE permanent group under their music videos, it is not going to happen. You just need to accept the unfortunate reality. The next obvious problem is the fact that the entire group is rigged. It's almost funny how everyone knows the group is rigged, but literally no one cares. Back when Produce 48 ended, everyone was like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset my fave didn't make it. I refuse to stand, but now we know it's rigged and people couldn't care less. This fact just goes to show how K-pop fans only care about what is in front of them. Who knows what the group would have been like without the rigging? But the group was rigged for a reason, and I don't think they would have been as popular or viral if certain members weren't included. While I do think that the current lineup is a great group, I do have one problem with it, and that's the lack of Japanese members. With the way that Produce 48 was set up, I expected the group to have 6 Japanese members and 6 Korean members, but nope. I think that they decided to get rid of potential Japanese members to shoehorn in Korean members whose companies paid for it. As much as I love all the members, it cannot be denied that some of them lack the training that is generally needed for debut. Though of course they are improving with every comeback, especially Haewon, who did improve her dancing and vocal skills but still looks like she does not want to be there. Sometimes I wonder if she actually does want to be there, or if her company is making her. You have to remember that the trainees who were rigged into the group are victims just as much as the ones who lost their spots. We have no idea if they actually wanted to be there or not. Speaking of members who shouldn't be there, the final thing I dislike about IZ*ONE is how young some of the members are. I talked about this a bit in my older Stands Younger Idols video, but I'll elaborate on it here. It's not really the idols' fault, but I'm just not comfortable with their ages. The structure of temporary groups like IZ*ONE means that companies are pretty much forced to send their trainees at really young ages, so that by the time the temporary group disbands, the idols are at a normal debut age when they debut in their company group. But still, is it really good for the idols' well-being? We know for a fact that Yoojin switched to homeschooling so she could focus on her career, and that's even without considering all of the adult male fans they have. It makes me want to throw up when I think about it. I wish the best for Wonyoung and Yoojin in their careers, but because they are so young, they might not know as much about the downsides of the career they picked. There's obviously nothing we can do about the lineup now, so we will just appreciate the members that we do have. Next group.
Red lip now, earrings now, high heel now.
CLC is a group that I like most things about, but the things that I dislike. Obviously, we have Seon's racism controversy. Like with literally every other racism situation I've talked about, if you aren't black you don't get to decide whether you are offended or not. And you might say that it wasn't Seon who did it, it was her friend. But she still saw what was going on and decided that it was appropriate to post. Then of course we have the You Gotta Chill, which she also posted, but she did say that that post wasn't in relation to the first. Now, unlike the other people I've talked about, Seon did actually apologize for it. But what you want to do with that apology is up to you. There are black people who stan Seon and there are those who don't. So I myself still like CLC, but this will always be something that I dislike about them, and it's always in the back of my mind whenever I see Seon do pretty much anything. Now, more on Seon. Something else that I dislike about CLC is that they aren't using their members correctly. They are sitting there with members like Sawn and LP who have a huge potential to do a lot for CLC in their home countries, and Cube just doesn't do anything about it. Yes, Sawn does have her YouTube channel Produson and her own social media accounts, but she has said that she does all of the editing for Produson herself. What the heck? Cube should give her proper support so she can upload much more frequently. I imagine that if she did, she would have something similar to Solo's YouTube channel Solar Shido, but with even more popularity because she can speak multiple languages. CLC has so many talents and advantages that just aren't being used properly by Cube, and it sucks. I'm pretty new to Oh My Girl, so I don't think I've picked up on as many things to dislike as I have with other groups. However, one thing I'm not a fan of is how their music flip-flops from style to style. Music evolution is one thing, but consistently going from songs like SSFWL to songs like Bungie will just make them lose fans. Now, you're probably wondering why I like Red Velvet, but I have a problem with this. The reason is because Red Velvet's Red and Velvet sides refer more to their concepts than their songs. It used to refer to both, but they have since dropped that. I don't mind it when Oh My Girl does their fairy concept, but them switching up their song style is just not for me. In fact, I first got to really like them back in 2018 with Remember, but then SSFWL lost me. The second thing I dislike about Oh My Girl is their subunit Oh My Girl Banhana, or lack thereof. I love this subunit so much. I don't care how weird everyone thinks the concept is, it's amazing. But we got one release in 2018 and then radio silence. I think that this subunit was a great way to promote the lesser known members, because up until recently Oh My Girl did have the problem of being UI and friends. Yeah, that's a problem I did have with them as well, though Non-Stop has alleviated some of my concerns. And the thing about UR was that she wasn't even getting famous for her dancing or anything. She was just famous for her visuals. Their company should have promoted her more for dancing because she is one of the best third-gen dancers, in my opinion. But she doesn't get that much recognition because no one knows about her. But now that Oh My Girl is getting major success, I think that they can do only good things in the future. I can't wait. No comment. Okay, actually one thing I would like GWSN to improve is their line distributions, because Mia gets literally nothing and she has the potential to be huge. All of the comments under their music videos are all like, Mia please step on me, and their Mia is getting no lines and no promotion. Their company needs to lean into the hype and promote her more, and I'm telling you, they will be huge. Oh, and also maybe Lena as well. She gets a lot of lines, but she is an English speaker and the company aren't utilizing that at all. Overall, they don't have that much to improve. I just hope that they are able to stick around long enough to execute any improvements at all. Alright guys, that's all for this video, and I think for this series, since I have covered every group I like enough to actually bother talking about. If you were looking for a certain group, then be sure to watch part 1 because I included a lot of other groups in that one, and the group you are looking for is probably there. Thanks for the support on the last few videos. That has been crazy, and of course I love reading all the comments from you guys. I've been really motivated to make new videos lately, so look forward to that. Bye guys, and I'll see you in the next one.